Welcome, this is Into Vietnam News with business updates nationwide, following at the headlines. The ADB says Vietnam bond market posts the highest growth in Asia. FDI to Vietnam officially hit $20 billion as of November the 20th. And Vietnam targets $67 billion in border trade in 2015. In its report on tracking Asian bonds in the third quarter of 2013, the ADB says Vietnam bond market has the highest growth rate in the region, with an increase of 18.8% over the same period last year, reaching $25 billion, in which the government bond market increased by 24.8%, reaching $24 billion. Corporate bond market stood at $700 million. In the review period, government bond market fell 8.7% compared to the previous quarter, mainly due to the decline in demand for treasury bonds. The corporate bond market decreased by 54.1% on year and 10% on quarter, as there were no issuance of corporate bonds for 3 consecutive quarters, coupled with the maturity of $1.7 trillion corporate bonds in the third quarter of this year. Foreign direct investment in Vietnam officially touched $20 billion, with the inflow in real estate sector hitting a record high since the beginning of the year. More details in the following news cluster. The Ministry of Planning and Investment says 1,175 new projects were granted foreign investment licenses as of November the 20th, with total registered capital of nearly $13.8 billion, up 73.3% on year. Of the sum, 446 projects were allowed to increase their funds by more than $7 billion, rising 26.9% from the same period last year. Between January and November, Vietnam attracted an addition of $20.8 billion, 54.2% higher from 1 year ago. The ministry also reveals processing and manufacturing industries continue to attract the bulk of FDI, with 557 new projects worth more than $16 billion and accounting for 77.2% of the total foreign investment attraction. Regarding investors in Vietnam, Japan led with additional funds of nearly $5.7 billion, making up 27.3% of registered foreign capital in the country. The run-ups are Singapore and South Korea, which invested approximately $4.3 billion and $4.1 billion, or 20.6% and 19.8% respectively of the total sum.
Looking at the FDI extraction report this year, there were 20 newly licensed projects and 4 capital-added projects in the real estate sector, 10 projects higher than the same period last year. So after a long quiet period, the number of real estate projects is increasing gradually, despite the new capital of nearly $885 million, just half of the same period in 2012. According to Vina Capital, a long-term foreign investor in Vietnam, the real estate market has improved significantly since early 2013, owing to the government's determination and intervention. Besides the policy priority for social housing development, the exchange rates have been kept stable, interest rates reduced, and bad debts in the system gradually sold. It is expected these factors will improve significantly the market's credit for the rest of 2013 and in 2014. However, Vina Capital is concerned interest rates in the real estate sector remains high, with an average level of 13 to 15% a year. Banks' requirement of high collateral in the context of slow recovery of the market is also a challenge to those seeking new loans or refinancing.
At a seminar organized by the Ministry of Industry and Trade on November the 26th, the Steering Committee for Border Trade says Vietnam targets $67 billion revenue from trade by 2015. In detail, Vietnam is striving to raise its border trade turnover to $60 billion with China, $2 billion with Laos, and $5 billion with Cambodia in the year. According to the committee, the border trade between Vietnam and its neighboring countries in recent years has seen many positive changes. Vietnam's total export-import turnover through its border gates reached $72 billion from 2008 to last September, up 10% annually. The country imported exports through the border gates in 2012 hit $13.1 billion, up 27% on year, and accounting for 5% of its total trade turnover. At the seminar, the government and ministry proposed crucial measures to explore the strengths and potentials of border regions and develop typical trade mechanisms for the region in a bid to boost socio-economic development, reduce poverty, improve people's lives and securities in the region. In other news, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development says in its report, export turnover of agriculture, forestry and aquatic products totaled $25.25 billion in the first 11 months of this year, up 1.5% on year. Of note, export value of the major agricultural products tumbled by 11.3% on year to $12.05 billion. Export value of aquatic products rose by 9.1% on year to $6.11 billion, and export turnover of forestry products soared by 15.8% to $5.12 billion in the period. In November alone, Vietnam earned $2.42 billion from exports of agriculture, forestry, and aquatic products. In a report titled Macro Challenges Ahead, a macroeconomics policy consultancy group of the National Assembly Economic Commission says the total amount of the country's public debts, including those of state-owned firms not guaranteed by the government, can rise to a staggering 95% of gross domestic product. The group says the Vietnam public debts as at the end of 2012 total 55.4% of GDP, with foreign debts accounting for 29.6% and domestic debts 25.8%. These figures changed later compared to the levels of 1 year earlier. However, the consultant says if debt of state-owned enterprises include foreign debts not guaranteed by the government, debts at domestic banks and their corporate bonds, then the total amount of public debts may have shot up to 95%. This projection is far higher than the safety threshold of 60 to 65% of GDP. Although the Vietnam's 2012 insurance market 12% growth was lower than previous years, the sector still had one of the highest growth rates in Vietnam. It was considered as one of bright spots in the economic gloomy picture. However, the brightness has dimmed this year, especially in the field of non-life insurance.
According to official figures, for the first time in the insurance market's 15-year history, the non-life insurance market saw a negative growth rate at -5% in the first quarter. By the end of the first half, the sector's earnings were up 2.2% year-on-year, but that was still the slowest growth the market has experienced in 5 years. As was said, that on average, Vietnam's insurance market increased 17 to 18% in the first half of the previous year, and even 20 to 22% in the first half of 2011. But the figures are modest now that he expected the non-life insurance markets to grow only 5% this year, and life insurance growth possibly will hit 9%. The Ministry of Finance goal is to have the insurance markets grow 10 to 12%. According to many experts, the economy is in trouble. Businesses like shipping companies are troubled by decreased orders and freight, so the demand for general insurance has fallen sharply, especially fire, technique, and freight services.
The rearrangement is approaching and the electronic appliance market is heating up due to the higher demand of consumers to welcome Tet holiday. However, in the current context of economic hardship, in order to boost the purchasing power, suppliers and distributors should take the best advantage of promotion campaigns, diversify products, and supporting policy for customers. More to follow.
This is a firm selling electronics products, electrical appliances, and other technological products in Ho Chi Minh City. Like other businesses, this firm has conducted a lot of promotion campaigns and support customers on the occasion of the year-end shopping season. Here, a series of programs are applied, including discounting 49% for some brand new products and sweepstakes, which are categorized to suit different groups of customers. Electric appliances and electronics are major products for Tate.
Trong cái mùa Tết này thì cũng như mọi năm thì tập trung nhất vẫn là những cái hàng dành cho bà nội trợ, ví dụ như những cái sản phẩm nhà bếp như là nồi cơm, sinh tố, máy giặt chẳng hạn. Bên cạnh đó thì chúng tôi cũng tung ra những cái chương trình khuyến mãi để mà có thể tạo cho khách hàng những cái sự đổi mới, ví dụ như chương trình đổi cũ sổ mới. Có thể nhà các bạn đã có một cái chiếc TV có thể 32 inch chẳng hạn, thì chúng tôi có những chính sách bán hàng ưu đãi linh hoạt để có thể giúp cho khách hàng đổi từ cái TV 32 inch lên 40, 42 hoặc là 55 inch chẳng hạn, để khách hàng có được thưởng thức những cái sản phẩm với công nghệ cao. Thì đây là một trong những cái chính sách cũng như là một trong những cái yếu tố để có thể tạo cái hiệu ứng cho khách hàng trong việc mà kích cầu mua sắm tiêu dùng cuối năm.
Although products for Tate shopping season are diversified in terms of categories, designs, and flexible customers' policies to make the best use of customers' cash flow spent on shopping in the context of economic hardships, enterprises should have policies to support customers because they are quite reluctant in spending in this difficult economic situation.
Thực tình mà nói đấy, thì tôi đang về chế độ hưu thì cái đồng lương nó không phải như hồi lúc đi làm. Thành thử là tôi mua cái gì tôi cũng phải có sự đắn đo và sự lựa chọn. Đó. Thì thực tình mà nói là tôi muốn mua cái bảng máy tính bảng, nhưng mà tôi cũng đang đi hỏi nhiều hơn. Giờ hỏi chỗ này chỗ kia để coi cái chỗ nào nó tương đối, nó thứ nhất là nó chất lượng mà nó hàng tốt. Tại vì ba cái đồ điện tử này tôi nói thiệt có lúc dày lúc khác.
Tết này thì tôi muốn mua như là bếp từ hoặc là hồng ngoại hay gì đó. Tôi mong là giảm giá hay là khuyến mãi gì đó thì tôi sẽ ghé mua.
At the moment, most of enterprises want to leave at the chance to boost the whole year sales. Therefore, besides promotion campaigns and sales off, as well as flexible products return policies, a large number of companies introduce diversified products to meet the demand of customers, such as infrared ovens for households without large kitchen space, vegetable and fruit grinders which ensures food safety, and waterproof bag for high-end phones and tablets.
Tháng 9 vừa rồi đó, sau khi kết thúc chương trình khuyến mãi thì chúng tôi ghi nhận rằng cái mãi lực bán hàng của các cái doanh nghiệp tăng rất là tốt. Cái tổng doanh thu hàng hóa và dịch vụ trên địa bàn thành phố trong cái tháng khuyến mãi tăng gấp 2 lần so với cái tháng trước đó. Một số các cái hệ thống phân phối lớn như là siêu thị Co-op hoặc như là Bixi hay là cái trung tâm điện máy Tuy Hòa v.v. thì qua cái tổng kết tháng thì thấy tăng doanh số rất là cao, có nơi tăng đến 40-50%. Chúng tôi cũng hy vọng rằng là qua cái đợt khuyến mãi của tháng 12 này cũng sẽ giúp cho các doanh nghiệp tăng cái doanh số bán hàng của mình, và đồng thời thì người tiêu dùng cũng sẽ được mua sắm những cái sản phẩm yêu thích theo nhu cầu của mình với một cái chất lượng tốt và có những hình thức khuyến mại phong phú.
Like previous years, the year-end shopping season is a time when suppliers and producers are ready to provide promotion campaign and discounting, customer supporting programs to boost the sales. However, due to the economic hardships, enterprises say that total sales was down compared to the same period of the previous years. The promotion campaign to stimulate consumption demand and competitiveness of enterprises on the market give customers more choices to buy their favorite products. If the purchasing power is improved in the end of the year, it's hoped to be a good sign of the economy in the beginning of the next year.
And before you go, let's check out today's update on gold prices, forex, and stock markets. And that's all for the Into Vietnam program. We'll be back at the top of the hours. Thank you for watching.